The exile. In the year 2147, humanity teetered on the brink of interstellar irrelevance. The Galactic Concord, a sprawling alliance of over 100 alien species, had long viewed Earth as a quaint backwater, a planet of squabbling primates who'd barely scratched the surface of faster-than-light travel. We joined the Concord out of necessity, after our first tentative steps into the stars revealed just how outmatched we were. The elder races, with their millennia of advancement, doled out technology like breadcrumbs to a beggar, always with strings attached. But humanity chafed under the yoke. We pushed boundaries, innovated recklessly, and occasionally stepped on toes, or tentacles, as the case might be. The tipping point came during the Xerian border dispute. A human mining colony on a disputed asteroid belt clashed with the insectoid Hivari, who claimed ancestral rights. In the ensuing skirmish, human ingenuity turned the tide. We repurposed mining lasers into makeshift weapons, vaporizing a Hivari dreadnought. The Concord was appalled. Barbaric, they called it. Uncivilized. The trial was swift. The Concord's High Council, a menagerie of ethereal beings, hulking brutes, and amorphous blobs, decreed humanity's punishment, exile to a Class-0 Deathworld. These were planets so hostile that even the hardiest species avoided them. No atmosphere stabilizers, no biodomes provided, just raw survival. The intent was clear, to humble us, or more likely, to extinguish us quietly. The chosen world was designated Epsilon Eridani B, but the Concord dubbed it Purgatorio in their universal tongue, a fitting name for a hellscape. Scans revealed a surface racked by perpetual megastorms, seismic upheavals that reshaped continents weekly, and an ecosystem where every organism was a predator, venomous, or both. Gravity was 1.8 g, crushing for unadapted humans. Radiation levels spiked from dual suns, and the air was a toxic brew of methane and sulfur. Life expectancy for an unprotected sentient? Minutes. Humanity's representatives protested vehemently. This is genocide. Ambassador Kira Voss thundered in the council chambers. But the verdict stood. 1 billion humans, our entire off-world population, plus volunteers from Earth, were to be relocated. The Concord provided minimal supplies, prefabricated shelters rated for Class-3 worlds, laughably inadequate, basic rations for 6 months, and a single orbital relay for distress signals, which they assured us would be ignored. As the Exodus fleets departed Sol, a wave of defiance swept through humanity. Engineers hacked Concord tech, smuggling in prototypes of adaptive suits and gene-editing kits. Scientists pored over Purgatorio's data, devising madcap survival strategies. And in the shadows, military minds plotted not just survival, but revenge. Captain Elias Thorne commanded the lead transport, the Endurance. A grizzled veteran of the Xerian skirmish, he addressed the passengers via holovid. They think this rock will break us. But we've tamed Earth, volcanoes, hurricanes, plagues. This is just another challenge. We'll adapt. We'll thrive. And one day, we'll come back stronger. The landing was chaos incarnate. As the Endurance pierced the atmosphere, lightning arcs the size of cities lashed the hull. Winds clocked at 300 kilometers per hour tore at stabilizers. Thorne's crew fought for control, but 3 shuttles disintegrated on entry, scattering debris across the Crimson Plains. Survivors emerged into a nightmare. The ground trembled underfoot, fissures belching superheated gas. Predatory vines slithered toward heat signatures, their thorns dripping neurotoxins. In the first hour, a pack of chitinous beasts, dubbed razorbacks for their bladed spines, ambushed a scouting party, claiming 12 lives. But humanity didn't fold. Teams erected shelters, reinforcing them with local obsidian harvested from lava flows. Dr. Lena Novak, a bioengineer, began tweaking human genomes with CRISPR variants smuggled aboard. "We'll evolve faster than nature intended," she declared, injecting volunteers with serums that enhanced muscle density to counter the gravity. By week 2, the first settlements took shape. New Haven, a cluster of bunkers burrowed into a stable cliff face. Casualties mounted, storms claimed hundreds, toxins felled more, but innovations emerged. A young mechanic, Raj Patel, rigged atmospheric processors to filter the air, turning methane into fuel. Geologist Maria Santos mapped seismic patterns, predicting quakes with 80% accuracy. Yet the Concorde watched from afar, their probes orbiting silently. They won't last the cycle, a HFY delegate buzzed in council. But whispers of doubt crept in. Humans were adapting, not just surviving, but improvising. As this part of story drew to a close, a massive quake split New Haven, swallowing half the settlement. Thorne rallied the survivors. This world tried to kill us today. Tomorrow, we kill back. Little did they know, the real trials were just beginning. The crucible. Months blurred into a relentless grind on Purgatorio. The dual suns baked the surface by day, plunging it into frigid darkness at night. Storms evolved, as if the planet itself learned from intruders. What began as predictable cyclones morphed into vortex swarms, interlocking tempests that spawned tornadoes laced with acidic rain. Humanity's population dwindled from 1 billion to 800 million in the first year. Disease ravaged camps. A fungal spore, airborne and insidious, infiltrated lungs, turning them to mush. Dr. Novak's team worked feverishly, splicing fungal DNA into human cells for immunity. We're becoming hybrids, she mused, her own skin taking on a subtle iridescent sheen from the mods. Innovation became currency. In the sprawling camp of Forge City, built atop a geothermal vent for endless energy, engineers like Patel pushed boundaries. They reverse-engineered Concorde tech, fusing it with Purgatorio's minerals. The result, grav suits that nullified the crushing weight, allowing feats of strength unimaginable on Earth. Soldiers tested them by wrestling razorbacks barehanded, their augmented muscles ripping through chitin. But survival bred division. Factions emerged. The purists, led by ideologue Victor Hale, rejected gene mods, clinging to pure humanity. They holed up in isolated domes, relying on tech alone, and paid dearly when a storm breached their barriers. The Evolvers, Novak's followers, embraced change, their bodies morphing. Enhanced senses to detect quakes, bioluminescent skin for night ops. Thorne navigated the politics, forging alliances. He organized raids on indigenous flora, harvesting venom for weapons. Nature's arsenal, he called it. A breakthrough came when Santos discovered crystal veins, subterranean deposits that resonated with seismic energy, acting as natural amplifiers. Weaponized, they became quake guns, channeling tremors to pulverize threats. The wildlife adapted too. Razorbacks grew smarter, coordinating hunts with pheromones. Aerial predators, stormhawks, dove from clouds, their beaks piercing armor. One night, a swarm overran Outpost Delta, massacring 5,000. Survivors spoke of a queen beast, a colossal entity directing the assault. Desperation fueled audacity. A team led by pilot Arya Chun ventured into the storm belts, seeking the planet's core secrets. Their rover, armored with crystal plating, braved winds that stripped flesh from bone. Deep in a chasm, they found ruins, ancient, alien. Not Concorde tech, but something older, remnants of a precursor race that had tamed Deathworlds eons ago. The artifacts hummed with power. Chen's team salvaged a device, a Terra Shaper, they theorized, capable of manipulating geology. But activating it triggered a backlash. The planet convulsed, birthing megaquakes that leveled settlements across hemispheres. In the aftermath, Thorne confronted Hale. Your purity is killing us. Join the Evolvers, or die alone. A civil skirmish erupted, but necessity won. United, they rebuilt. By year's end, humans weren't just enduring. They were dominating pockets of the world. Farm domes sprouted hardy crops gene-spliced with local flora, yielding bounties that sustained millions. Drones swarmed the skies, mapping and neutralizing threats. The Concorde's probes detected the changes. Alarms rippled through the council. Impossible, a ethereal delegate intoned. Class-0 worlds consume. They do not yield, but yield it did, forged in human tenacity. As part closed, a distress signal from a crashed Concorde scout ship pierced the orbital relay. Opportunity knocked, or perhaps a trap. The awakening. The crashed ship was a HFY reconnaissance vessel, its hull crumpled amid jagged peaks. Thorne's team approached warily, grav suits humming, quake guns primed. Inside, they found survivors, a dozen insectoids, chittering in terror. Mercy! their translator pleaded. We were observing, the council sent us. Interrogation revealed cracks in the Concorde's facade. Humanity's survival had sparked unrest. Younger species whispered of rebellion, inspired by our defiance. The elders feared precedent. If humans tamed a Class-0, others might challenge authority. Thorne saw leverage. Tell your masters we're not broken. We're rebuilt. But the HFY captain revealed more. Purgatorio wasn't random. It was a test site, seeded with precursor tech to ensure failure. The ruins Chen found? Bait to awaken the planet's guardian, a biomechanical entity, the queen beast writ large. Alarmed, Novak dove into the artifacts. The Terra Shaper wasn't a tool. It was a key to the world's neural network. Purgatorio was alive, a sentient biosphere, engineered by precursors to weed out the unworthy. As if cued, the Guardian stirred. Quakes intensified, birthing colossal fissures. From depths emerged the apex, a titanic fusion of rock, vine, and fury, its form shifting like a living mountain. It marched on Forge City, tendrils lashing, spawning minions. Humanity mobilized. Evolvers, their bodies optimized, led charges. Purists, humbled, donned mods. Patel's forges churned out mechs, hulking suits fused with crystal tech, amplifying human strength tenfold. The Battle of the Apex was legend. Thorne piloted a proto-mech, quake gun blazing. Chen's air wings strafed from above, dodging stormhawks. Novak hacked the Terra Shaper, interfacing directly via neural link, her mind merging with the planet's. In the chaos, losses mounted. 100,000 fell to the Apex's onslaught. But humanity's edge shone. Adaptive tactics turned the tide. They lured the beast into a crystal vein, then detonated it, shattering its core. Wounded but alive, the Apex retreated. Novak emerged changed, her eyes glowing with planetary data. It's not hostile, she revealed. It's a forge, designed to temper species. With the Guardian subdued, humans accessed the precursor vault. Tech troves of FTL drives, energy shields, bioenhancers. They reverse-engineered furiously, building a fleet from scraps and local resources. Factions dissolved, unity forged in fire. Population stabilized at 600 million, but each human was superhuman, stronger, smarter, resilient. The Concorde panicked. Fleets amassed at Purgatorio's edge, poised to intervene. But humanity was ready. As this part ended, Thorne broadcast galaxy-wide. You sent us to die. We chose to live. Now, we come for what's ours. The reckoning. The exodus reversed. Human ships, sleek, precursor-infused behemoths, launched from Purgatorio's surface. Grav drives warped space, outpacing Concorde patrols. At their helm, the Vindication, Thorne's flagship, bore the scars of the Deathworld. Hull-plated in crystal armor, weapons drawing from seismic energy. The first strike was surgical. Human forces reclaimed the Xerian asteroids, dismantling HFY outposts with ease. Augmented troops in grav suits boarded enemy vessels, their venom-laced blades cutting through defenses. Word spread like wildfire. Oppressed species rallied. The avian Zorati, the aquatic Delphians. The Deathworlders rise, they chanted. The Concorde mobilized its armada, converging on Sol. But humanity struck preemptively. Novak, now a hybrid oracle, predicted movements via precursor algorithms. Chen's fighters, enhanced with Stormhawk agility, outmaneuvered foes. The battle of the core worlds was cataclysmic. Human mech dropped onto council planets, Terra Shapers reshaping battlefields, summoning quakes to swallow armies. The elders fell, HFY hives collapsed, ethereal citadels shattered. In the final assault on the High Council station, Thorne faced the Arbiters. You thought us weak, he snarled, his voice amplified by mods. Purgatorio made us gods. Surrender came swiftly. The Concorde reformed, with humanity at the helm. No more exiles, equality for all. Back on Purgatorio, now Eden Prime, settlements thrived. The planet, tamed, became a cradle of innovation. Humanity spread, stronger, unyielding. The Deathworld hadn't ended us. It birthed a new era. Fuck yeah, humanity.